Good evening, and welcome to another night of Ts&Zzz. Ts&Zzz is a podcast to help you get better sleep at night. We use long, boring, legal agreements as a way to distract our minds and gently drift off to sleep. I am your host, Scott Elchison, and tonight you'll be listening to The Morning Brew's Privacy Policy, narrated by Scott Elchison. Now, close your eyes, inhale, exhale, and let's begin. Privacy Policy. Morning Brew, Inc., us or we, respects the privacy of the parties visiting our website, requests to receive our online newsletters, the newsletters, and each of our online newsletters, Morning Brew Daily, Emerging Tech Brew, and Retail Brew. This privacy policy is intended to educate you on our policies and practices regarding the collection, use, and disclosure of any personal information defined below, and anonymous information defined below you submit to us or we collect through our website. The homepage, which is located at www.morningbrew.com, and accompanying pages will collectively be known as website. Personal information is information about you that is personally identifiable to you, like your name, address, and email address, as well as other non-public information that is associated with the foregoing. Anonymous information is information that is not associated with or linked to your personal information. Anonymous information does not allow the identification of individual persons. We collect and use personal information and anonymous information as indicated in this privacy policy. Before submitting your personal information to the website, please review this privacy policy carefully. By using or accessing the website, signing up for the newsletters, and/or communicating to us via mail, email, or telephone, you are accepting the practices described in this privacy policy. User consent, legal basis. When you submit any personal information through our website, you agree to the terms of this privacy policy, and you expressly consent to the treatment of your personal information defined in this privacy policy. Other legal basis for collecting personal information are 1. Where we need the personal information for performance of a contract or requested service, or 2, where the collection and use is in our or another's legitimate interests and not overridden by your data protection interests or fundamental rights and freedoms. In some cases, we may also have a legal obligation to collect the personal information in question. If we collect your personal information with your consent, you may withdraw your consent at any time as provided below. You understand and agree that we may collect, use, disclose, and otherwise process the personal information you provide, even if you're located outside the United States. Information collected. We may collect personal information that you submit to us voluntarily through our website. We collect this information when you register, create and edit your profile, answer survey questions, enter contests, use certain features on the website, or other methods of submitting information. The types of information you can choose to provide on our website may include, without limitation, 1. Name, username, password, email address, and other contact information. 2. Billing and shipping addresses, credit card number, and expiration date. 3. We or our third-party service providers may also gather information relating to your devices, including device model, operating system, browser type, unique device identifier, IP address, mobile phone number, mobile network carrier, and location, such as application installations. And 4, other personal information you choose to provide, such as your preferences, etc. Use of information. We may use your personal information for the following general and business purposes. 1. To fulfill and respond to your inquiries. 2. To address administrative needs and communications. 3. To improve our products and services. 4. To contact you for internal business purposes. And 5. to provide you with newsletters, surveys, promotions, and notices of change and upgrades to our products and services. We use anonymous information, such as web and mobile pages you have viewed, in order to analyze requests and usage patterns so that we may improve our products and services, enhance our user experience, and gather broad demographic information for aggregate use. Anonymous information consists of data that would not identify you personally. These records exclude information such as your name that makes them personally identifiable to you. We may disclose anonymous information to third parties that promote our products and services. We reserve the right to use and disclose anonymous information to third parties in our discretion. Information sharing. Except as otherwise stated in this privacy policy, we do not sell, trade, rent, or share your personal information with third parties for their marketing purposes, and we will not disclose financial information that is part of your personal information unless you request or authorize us to do so. If you provide personal information for a certain reason, we may use the personal information in connection with the reason for which it was provided. For instance, if you contact us by email, we will use the personal information you provided to answer your questions or resolve your problems and will respond to the email address from which the contact came. We may disclose personal information to our corporate subsidiaries or affiliated entities. Any personal information provided to our subsidiaries or entities affiliated with us will be treated by those subsidiaries and affiliated entities in accordance with the terms of this privacy policy. We may share your personal information with a third-party vendor and suppliers to provide you with the products and services that we offer you through the website and to send you the newsletters. You expressly consent to the sharing of your personal information with our contractors and third-party service providers for the sole purpose of providing products and services to you. These service providers are contractually obligated to ensure the confidentiality of personal information and implement appropriate security measures. We use third-party payment processors for any purchases that you make through the website or newsletters. Be advised that we do not have access to any personal information, including credit card numbers or other financial information you provide to these processors. This privacy policy does not apply to them, and we do not accept any responsibility or liability for their policies. We may participate in co-branding or co-promotional agreements with third parties pursuant to which we may share personal information with such third parties, partner companies. For example, we may participate in agreements with partner companies pursuant to which we provide the partner companies with a URL and a customer registration page co-branded with or private labeled by the partner companies, and the partner companies distributes and promotes that URL to its customers. A partner company may have access to personal information that we collect from their customers. As a result, if you register on the website through a partner company, we may provide your personal information to the partner company. We do not control the privacy practices of these partner companies. We may offer you the chance to participate in drawings, contests, giveaways, and promotions, special promotions, through our website. By registering for a special promotion, you agree to the official rules that govern that special promotion, which may contain specific requirements of you, including, except where prohibited by law, allowing the sponsors of the special promotion to use your name, voice, and/or likeness in advertising or marketing associated with the special promotion. If you choose to enter a drawing, contest, or other promotion, personally identifiable information may be disclosed to third parties or the public in connection with the administration of such special promotion, including, without limitation, in connection with winner selection, prize fulfillment, and as required by law or permitted by the special promotion's official rules, such as on a winner's list. We may use your personal information in order to provide third parties non-personal aggregated information about you that does not allow you to be identified or contacted and is combined with the personal information of others, aggregate information. For example, we might inform third parties regarding the number of users of our website and the activities they conduct while on our website. We might also inform a company that provides services or that provides products and services to us that may or may not be a business partner or an advertiser on our website, that 50% of users live in the US, or that 85% of our users have purchased products and or services which can be downloaded from our website. Depending on the circumstances, we may or may not charge third parties for this aggregate information. We may not limit the third party's use of the aggregate information. Under the following scenarios, we may be required to share your personal information. 1. If we believe it's necessary to share information in order to investigate, prevent, or take action regarding illegal activities, suspected fraud, situations involving possible threats to the physical safety of any person, violation of our terms of use, or otherwise required by law. 2. If we respond to subpoenas, court orders, or legal processes, or if we need to establish or exercise our legal rights or to defend against legal claims. 3. If we believe it's necessary to restrict or inhibit any user from using any of our websites, including, without limitation, by means of hacking or defacing any portion thereof. Opt out. You have options regarding the collection, use, and sharing of your personal information under certain circumstances. When you receive promotional communications from us, you may specify a preference to stop receiving further promotional communications from us, and you will have the chance to opt out by following the unsubscribed instructions indicated in the communication you receive. You may also contact us via email at privacy@morningbrew.com to opt out of receiving any promotional communications. Please include opt out in the subject line. Despite your selected preferences, we may send you non-marketing communications regarding the services we provide you, such as notices about administrative updates, transaction reports, notices of new website releases, and notices regarding changes to the website, updates to our privacy policy, terms of use, and other policies. Unsubscribe from our newsletters. Should you no longer wish to receive any of our newsletters into your inbox, you may click the unsubscribe link located at the bottom of each message received and/or contact us at privacy@morningbrew.com, and we will immediately remove you from our distribution list. California privacy rights. California, shine the light. As provided by California Civil Code 1798.83, if you are a California resident, you have the right to receive A. Information identifying any third-party companies to whom we have disclosed your personal information to in the past year, and B. A description of the categories of personal information disclosed. To obtain such information, please email your request to privacy@themorningbrew.com with California Privacy Rights Request in the subject line. For California residents under the age of 18 and registered users, California law, Business and Professional Code 22581, provides that you can request the removal of content or information you posted on the app or site. Any such request should be sent to us at privacy@morningbrew.com along with a description of the posted content or other information to be removed. Be advised, however, that applicable law may not permit us to completely or comprehensively remove your deleted content or for other reasons as set forth in this California law. California Consumer Privacy Act. The California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, gives California consumers enhanced rights with respect to their personal information that is collected by businesses. The CCPA provides California consumers with 3 rights regarding their personal information. First, California consumers can opt out of the sale of their personal information. However, this option is not available as Morning Brew does not sell your personal information. Second, California consumers may opt out of having their personal information sold to other persons or parties. Second, California consumers are requested to know 1. What specific pieces of information a business has collected about a consumer. 2. Categories of personal information it has collected about the consumer. 3. Categories of sources from which the personal information is collected. 4. Categories of personal information that the business sold or disclosed for a business purpose about the consumer. 5. Categories of third parties to whom the personal information was sold or disclosed for a business purpose. And 6. The business or commercial purpose for collecting and selling personal information. Third, California consumers can request that a business delete personal information about the consumer that a business has collected from that consumer. Morning Brew is a covered business under the CCPA as it collects and processes the personal information of California consumers. This privacy policy provides the required notices to California consumers. The categories of personal information we collect and disclose for business purposes in the preceding 12 months are described above. The CCPA also prohibits covered businesses from providing discriminatory treatment to California consumers if they exercise their right under the CCPA. To make a request to know or a request to delete your personal information, send us an email at privacy@morningbrew.com. Please put either request to know or request to delete in the subject line of your email. You may also submit these requests via our CCPA interactive request form. Authorized agents may also complete and submit the interactive request form on behalf of a California consumer. We will confirm receipt of your request within 10 business days. We must provide the requested information or delete your personal information within 45 days of receipt of your request, but we can use up to an additional 45 days if we let you know that additional time is needed. Before responding, we must verify that the person making the request is the person about whom we've collected their personal information. We may ask you to provide certain limited personal information, such as your name and email address, to verify and match your identity with our records and systems. If you have an account with us, we may ask you to verify your identity through our account authentication process. This is able to protect against fraud. We will not retain this personal information or use it for any other purpose. Also, please be advised that we need to search our records and systems only for the preceding 12 months. There may be cases where we do not have any personal information about you, or we were not able to verify your identity for matching purposes. Deleting your personal information may result in the closing of your account and inability to access the services. However, you can always re-register at any time. Residents of Nevada and other states may also have similar rights to request information about or delete their personal information. To inquire about exercising these rights, please contact us at privacy@morningbrew.com. Located in the United States. Morning Brew and the website are located in the United States and governed by U.S. law. If you are outside the United States when you visit the website or engage in communications with us via email, mail, or telephone, please be aware that your personal information may be transferred to, stored, and processed in the United States where our servers are located. Any information you provide to us or that we collect through the use of the website will be stored, processed, and transferred within or to the United States. Please be aware that the United States and jurisdictions other than the one in which you are located may not provide the same level of data protection as considered adequate in your country. Note that your personal information may be available to the U.S. government or its agencies under legal process in the United States. Google user data. The website may use third-party services to access your Google user data only upon your verification and consent to do so. You will be notified prior to accessing your Google user data and must authorize your account credentials before you're capable of accessing your Google user data. The Google user data you use will not be stored or shared by us. The Google user data accessed by the website is limited to user contacts and are used solely to allow you to email those contacts directly from the website. Users in the European Economic Area, EEA, United Kingdom, and Switzerland. The legal basis for using EEA, UK, and Swiss personal information. For residents of the European Economic Area, EEA, United Kingdom, and Switzerland, we advise that your personal information will be transferred to and processed in the United States, which has data protection laws that are different than those in your country and may not be as protective. The United States has not sought or received a finding of adequacy under the European Union under Article 45 of the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. Our legal basis for collecting and using your personal information is to do so with your consent, where we need the personal information for performance of a contract or requested service, including to provide you with our daily newsletter, or where the collection and use is in our or another legitimate interest and not overridden by your data protection interests or fundamental rights and freedoms. In some cases, we may also have a legal obligation to collect the personal information in question. If we collect your personal information with your consent, you may withdraw your consent at any time. Our retention of your personal information and any subsequent communications are based on legitimate interest in providing you with new and potentially relevant materials based on your geography, role, or company. As always, you can elect to opt out from receiving such future communications. To the extent that we transfer personal information from the EEA, UK, or Switzerland to a jurisdiction outside of the EEA, UK, or Switzerland that has not been adduced by the European Commission as providing adequate data protections, such as the United States, we will ensure that such personal information is safeguarded through appropriate contractual terms or other provided mechanisms. Rights for EEA, UK, or Swiss residents. In addition, if you're a resident of the EEA, UK, or Switzerland, you have the right to 1. Find out if we use your personal information to access your personal information and receive copies of your personal information. 2. Withdraw any express consent that you have provided to the processing of your personal information at any time without penalty. 3. Access your personal information and have it connected or amended if it is inaccurate or incomplete. 4. Obtain a transferable copy of some of your personal information which can be transferred to another provider when the personal information was processed based on your consent. 5. If you believe your personal information is inaccurate, no longer necessary for our business purposes, or if you object to our processing of your personal information, you also have the right to request that we restrict the processing of your data pending our investigation and/or verification of your claim. And 6, request your personal information to be deleted or restricted under certain circumstances. For example, if using your personal information on the basis of your consent and has no other legal basis to use such, you may request your personal information to be deleted when you withdraw your consent. Withdrawing your consent will not affect the lawfulness of any processing we conducted prior to your withdrawal, nor will it affect processing of your personal information conducted in reliance on lawful processing grounds or other consent. If we ask you to provide personal information to us to comply with a legal requirement or to enter into a contract, we will inform you of this and let you know whether providing us with your personal information is required, and if not, the consequences of not sharing your personal information with us. Similarly, if we collect and use your personal information in reliance on our or a third party's legitimate interests, and those interests are not already described above, we will let you know what those legitimate interests are. We endeavor to apply suitable safeguards to protect the privacy and security of your personal information and to use it only consistent with your relationship with us and the practices described in this privacy policy. To withdraw consent and exercise these rights, please contact us via email at privacy@morningbrew.com. If you are not satisfied with our response and believe we are processing your personal information in violation of the law, you have the right to lodge a complaint with the supervisor authority, also known as the Data Protection Authority, or other appropriate governmental authorities in your EEA member state or Switzerland. Security. Morning Brew has implemented technical, administrative, and physical security measures to protect your information from unauthorized access and use as described. While we strive to protect your information, no data transmission over the internet is 100% secure, and consequently, while we strive to protect your information, we cannot guarantee or warrant the security of any information you transmit or you provide, and you do so at your own risk. We cannot promise that your information will remain absolutely secure in all circumstances. We are not responsible for the circumvention of any privacy settings or security measures that we may provide. We will retain your information for the time necessary to provide a requested service, realize our legitimate business purposes, and to comply with the law. We will only retain personal information for the longer of the period if A, required by law, or B, there is a time-bound determination business need. Children's information. Our website is not intended to be used by children under the age of 13, and we will not knowingly collect personal information from children under this age. We do not use an application or other mechanism to determine the age of users of the website. All information provided to the Morning Brew will be treated as if it was provided by an adult. If, however, we learn that a child has submitted information about himself/herself to us, we will delete that information as soon as possible. Google user data. The website may use third-party services to access your Google user data, but only upon verification and consent to do so. You will be notified prior to accessing your Google user data and must authorize your account credentials before you're capable of accessing your Google user data via the website. The Google user data you use will not be stored or shared by us. The Google user data accessed by the website is limited to the user contacts and are used solely to allow you to email those contacts directly from the website to, for example, invite your contacts to sign up for the newsletters. We do not have access to your contacts. Links to third-party websites. The website may contain links to and from third-party websites of our business partners and various contact management services and other service providers. If you followed a link to any of these websites, please note that these websites will have their own privacy policies and that we do not accept any responsibility or liability for these policies. Please check the individual privacy policies before you submit any personal information to those websites. Our provision of a link to any other website or location is for your convenience and does not indicate our endorsement of such other website or location or its contents. We have no control over, do not review, and cannot be responsible for these outside websites or their content. Please be aware that the terms of our privacy policy do not apply to these outside websites. Cookies and similar technologies. We may use pixel tags, cookies, and/or other similar technologies to collect visitor information. Cookies, for example, are alphanumeric identifiers that we transfer to your computer's hard drive through our web browser. They make it possible for us to save the items in your shopping cart until you are ready to check out, recognize your browser when you visit, recognize if you are a current subscriber, provide you with information about products that interest you, or analyze how our website is used. By doing this, we can customize your return visits and save you time during checkout. It is possible to deactivate cookies from being used in your browser by turning off the feature. But in order to enjoy the benefits of being a registered user, your browser must be set to accept cookies. We do not use cookies to conduct online targeted advertising. Most web browsers automatically accept cookies, but if you prefer, you can edit your browser options to block them in the future. The help portion of the toolbar on most browsers will tell you how to prevent your computer from accepting new cookies, how to have the browser safely notify you when you receive a new cookie, or how to disable cookies altogether. Visitors to our website who disable cookies will not be able to browse most of the areas of the website, but some features may not function. You can find out more information about how to change your browser cookie settings at allaboutcookies.org. Updates to privacy policy. We may modify this privacy policy from time to time by posting updates on this page. Please check back regularly to view any updates. Contact us. Should you have any questions, concerns, or feedback regarding this privacy policy, please contact us by email at privacy@themorningbrew.com. You can also mail us at Morning Brew, 40 Exchange Place, Suite 300, New York, New York, 10005. End the Morning Brew's privacy policy. Enjoy your night.